The new M5 Vision Pro brings a huge leap in performance to Apple's novel mixed reality headset. Tweaks to the formula include more graphics power, a more comfortable headband in the box, and longer battery life. Unfortunately, the tweaks do not include a lower starting price or more storage. Apple doesn't seem to be pushing M2 Vision Pro owners to upgrade. Rather, if you're still Vision Pro curious, and you've been pinching your pennies for the past year and a half, the Vision Pro you happen to buy today will be that much more powerful. I fell in love with the original Vision Pro. Here's what I think of the new one. The Apple Vision Pro is the company's most ambitious product since the original iPhone, and it shows. This isn't just a fancy pair of goggles, it's Apple's first real step into the era of spatial computing, where your apps, media, and memories float right in front of you. The headset delivers jaw-dropping visuals, buttery smooth controls, and that Apple magic that makes futuristic tech feel instantly familiar. It's a full computer that you just so happen to wear on your face. But at $3,499, it's also a glimpse of tomorrow with a price tag that keeps it firmly out of reach for most people today. The original Vision Pro launched in February 2024 with an M2 chip that was already a year and a half old by the time it shipped. The new Vision Pro is the first of 3 products with the brand new M5, so it should have much more staying power. The design of the Vision Pro, for better or worse, is mostly unchanged. The curved front glass covers its many cameras and sensors. Underneath is the EyeSight display, which projects a creepy CGI version of your eyes to other people in the room so that you can pretend to have a normal conversation while one of you is wearing a computer on your face. I don't think it's a totally terrible idea, but I do think the EyeSight display is far too small, dark, and blurry to make it really work. And unfortunately, Apple didn't make any improvements with this new version. I wonder if there's anything at all Apple can do in software to make it better, the same way they drastically improved spatial personas. The Vision Pro's body is iconic Apple silver aluminum with vents on the top and bottom. The digital crown and top button are intuitively placed to find without looking. The inside is a nice dark felt. The light seal snaps on magnetically and blocks your peripheral vision. The bridges are a soft-touch rubber and contain the surprisingly excellent speakers. The Vision Pro is great at what it's trying to do, but its enormously complex design is in large part to blame for its expensive manufacturing process. It's hard to appreciate the beautiful curved glass without imagining how much cheaper it would be if it were just plastic, or how expensive the repair would be if it were to tumble off a table. The new dual knit band combines the best of both worlds of the 2 previous straps. It has the same cool design and ease of use as the solo knit band, with the more balanced feel of the dual loop band. It's backwards compatible with the original model because the connectors didn't change. You can buy it separately for $99. In an impressive feat of engineering, the single fit dial adjusts both the tension in the back and the top band. You pull it out to tighten the top, or push it in to tighten the rear. I have no clue how this works mechanically, but it's incredible and the dial feels great. This is probably a much better one-size-fits-all band to include in the box, but unfortunately, it doesn't really work for me. The top strap pushes down on the front of my hair in a rather uncomfortable way. The rest of my hair billows up behind like a peacock and absolutely ruins my hair after long sessions. Personally, I'll stick to using the solo knit band with the Anna Pro A2 head strap. This third-party strap attaches to the bridge of the Vision Pro, and it rests on my forehead rather than the top of my head. The Anna Pro A2 also lets me use the Vision Pro without a light seal, giving me my full peripheral vision. This is a radical improvement to comfort, in addition to keeping me aware of my surroundings, although it does break the illusion of full VR. Unfortunately, the dual knit band is too floppy to use without a light seal. The high-resolution pass-through video is easily the most impressive technical aspect of the Vision Pro. Up to 100 times a second, it combines data from over 12 cameras and sensors, builds live 3D geometry of your environment, scans the position of your eyes, and combines that into a scaled live video feed over 8K resolution that's mapped onto a sphere. Oh, and on top of that, you can run apps and games and use it like a computer and whatever. When you consider how much it's doing, you can forgive it for feeling like you're looking through the viewfinder of a really big VHS camcorder. Everything is slightly fuzzy and staticky, turn your head too fast, and there's a little motion blur. As it turns out, the M2 chip was the narrow end of the funnel. Even with its foveated rendering, which blurs parts of the screen you're not looking at to save on compute power, it still couldn't push the maximum resolution around your eye. The M5 chip can render 10% more pixels, according to Apple, and there's a difference, but it's awfully subtle. The new Vision Pro bumps the frame rate up to 120. There's a little less motion blur when tilting your head or walking around, but again, it's not night and day. I think M5 Vision Pro owners should be happy they're getting a better experience, but M2 owners shouldn't feel any FOMO. iPhones and MacBooks get the pleasure of being updated annually with every new A-series and M-series chip. iPads and desktop Macs are known to occasionally skip a generation. So far, the Vision Pro is in the peripheral category alongside the Apple TV 4K and HomePod of being updated whenever Apple feels like it, so it jumps from the M2 all the way to the M5. The Vision Pro doesn't feel slow in most situations. I only ever hear the fans come on during 3D VR games, where the headset gets a bit warm after a while. The M5 version is a monumental improvement in that regard. Playing the same 3D games on both, the M5 is totally silent. Another minor benefit is the startup time. I found myself rebooting or cold starting my Vision Pro much more often than my iPhone or Mac. It's a consequence of being a newer, buggier platform, and occasionally going a week or so between usage. The M5 model boots about 1.5 seconds faster in 24.4 seconds total. Thanks to the efficient M5 chip, the Vision Pro claims longer battery life. The original version got 2 hours of battery life. The new version claims 2.5 hours of mixed use and 3 hours of video playback. But of course, Apple underpromises battery life. On the original version, in my typical use, writing, browsing the web, using Slack, watching YouTube videos, I got about 2.5 hours on the original model. And on the new model, I easily exceed 3 hours. And yes, this is all thanks to the new chip. The battery pack itself is unchanged. The M5 strikes again. That still may not sound like much battery life, but in all honesty, I'm not sure how much more I need. I'm almost always using the Vision Pro plugged in, sitting down. I might unplug it to get up and go to the kitchen, have lunch, or just walk around, but that's rarely over 90 minutes at a time. I don't think I would need more battery life unless I were traveling on a plane or train without an outlet, but that's increasingly rare nowadays. I really like working in the Vision Pro. It's the ultimate tool for focus. You only directly see what you're working on. There's no desktop, no dock, no red badges to pull you away. The Mac encourages me to fit as many windows as possible overlapping on the screen at once. The Vision Pro encourages me to pare it all down to the essentials. It feels like I can happily write all day in the Vision Pro, and with the M5's extra power, I can do more multitasking and crash Safari less. Unfortunately, there's not that much else I can do in it. I wrote the script for this review in the Vision Pro, but that's only one part of my job. I can't do any graphic design without Pixelmator Pro. I can't capture iPhone screenshots or screen recordings without Framus and QuickTime. I can't edit podcasts without Logic Pro or videos without Final Cut Pro. And even if those apps were ported, testing them on the M3 iPad Air earlier this year required a tedious and convoluted workflow because these mobile devices don't have direct access to my Mac's external storage. I'm really looking forward to the day where I can do more work in the Vision Pro because I genuinely believe I will be more productive. Unfortunately, that day is years down the road. Much of the Vision Pro experience is, so far, unfulfilled potential. but the one area it is unquestionably already excellent is as a TV, movie, and photo browsing device. This isn't new to the M5 Vision Pro. I just wanted to include at least one section that can be unapologetically positive. Apple's slow drip of immersive content in the TV app is now building up to be a substantial library. The release of the Blackmagic 3D camera actually does seem to be contributing to a faster, more ambitious rollout of immersive content. Apple's stuff is all excellent, and with the Spatial Gallery app, you can get more bite-sized clips and a TikTok-style experience every week. And that's on top of the many third-party apps for the Vision Pro with their own libraries of documentaries, videos, and theatrical blockbuster movies in full 3D. It is, without a doubt, the best way to relive the roller coaster movies like Avatar, Gravity, Pacific Rim, and seemingly every Marvel movie. Even watching 2D content is really special. I watch movies and shows streamed from the Plex library on my Mac to my Vision Pro all the time. It's awesome to fill up your entire field of view with a crisp 4K movie on a movie theater-sized screen in your house. Or if you're like me, you can find incredible joy in the irony of using your very expensive consumer headset to watch 60-plus-year-old missing episode reconstructions of Doctor Who. Browsing through your photo library is truly special. A vast majority of people only ever see their photos on their phone. A much smaller percentage of people might use a Mac. An even smaller percentage of people might occasionally use an Apple TV. If you've never seen your photos on a screen larger than 6.9 inches, you are in for a whirlwind of emotions when you browse through your life's memories, filling a whole wall, and in 3D. It is simply superb. I don't think Apple intends for the M5 Vision Pro to be a necessary upgrade from the M2 Vision Pro. Apple's press release shies away from making too many direct comparisons between the two. Normally, they're littered with percentages of every single improved metric. Apple shies away from acknowledging the difference of the two models. On the Apple Store and Apple support pages, they're both referred to as Apple Vision Pro. Only in technical documentation do you see it referred to as Apple Vision Pro parentheses M5, and certainly not Apple Vision Pro 2. As an M2 Vision Pro owner, I'm jealous of the improvements in the M5 version, but I don't think there's anything leaving me heartbroken. Normally, in product reviews, I refrain from saying whether or not a product is worth it. The same $120 MagSafe charger might be chump change to a lucky tech enthusiast with a good-paying job, or ludicrously expensive to someone struggling to make ends meet. However, I have to acknowledge there are vanishingly few people to whom a $3,499 headset is a reasonable purchase, much less a second one 18 months later. There are some professional video editing, programming, and scientific research workflows that truly demand the most power available and upgrading every single generation. I don't think there are very many professional 3D movie watchers that demand the M5 Vision Pro over the M2. Reports say Apple has paused development of future Vision Pro headsets. Instead of approaching wearables from the high end and working their way down, Apple may be joining Meta in developing basic smart glasses and building back up from the low end. If you're curious about a Vision Pro, this is the one to buy. It could be the last of its kind for a few years. If you can stretch it, you will have the most exciting new piece of technology in your house. I'm Griffin Jones with Cult of Mac.